Myths and Legends of Our Own Times by Charles Skinner. The Revenge of Shandaken. On the rock platform, where the Catskill Mountain House now stands, commanding one of the fairest views in the world, old Chief Shandaken set his wigwam. For it is a mistake to suppose that barbarians are indifferent to beauty. And there his daughter, Lo-to-Wana, was sought in marriage by his braves. She, however, kept faith to an early vow exchanged with a young chief of the Mohawks. A suitor who was particularly troublesome was Norse-Redden. Proud, morose, dark-featured, a stranger to the red man, a descendant, so he claimed, from Egyptian kings, and who lived by himself on Catterskill Creek, appearing among white settlements but rarely. On one of his visits to Catskill, a tavern-lounging Dutchman wagered him 1,000 golden crowns that he could not win Lo-to-Wana, and stung by avarice, as well as inflamed by passion, Norse-Redden laid new siege to her heart. Still the girl refused to listen, and Shandaken counseled him to be content with the smiles of others, thereby so angering the Egyptian that he assailed the chief and was driven from the camp with blows. But on the day of Lo-to-Wana's wedding with the Mohawk he returned, and in a honeyed speech asked leave to give a jewel to the bride, to show that he had stifled jealousy and ill will. The girl took the handsome box he gave her and drew the cover, when a spring flew forward, driving into her hand the poisoned tooth of a snake that had been affixed to it. The venom was strong, and in a few minutes Lo-to-Wana lay dead at her husband's feet. Though the Egyptian had disappeared into the forest directly on the acceptance of his treacherous gift, 20 braves set off in pursuit, and overtaking him on the Kalkberg, they dragged him back to the rock, where father and husband were bewailing the maid's untimely fate. A pile of faggots was heaped within a few feet of the precipice edge, and tying their captive on them, they applied the torch, dancing about with cries of exultation as the shrieks of the wretch echoed from the cliffs. The dead girl was buried by the mourning tribe, while the ashes of Norse-Redden were left to be blown abroad. On the day of his revenge, Shandaken left his ancient dwelling place, and his campfires never glimmered afterward on the front of Onteora.